that, so like I've seen a lot of indie promotions kind of come and go. And so when we actually contacted Ron to be able to do this, I was actually shocked at how fast he got back to me to do it. What was really cool about it though is, like, you know, obviously there was, I have to remember some of them. Some of them I don't even remember the names of because they were here for such a short time. But you had, like Powerhouse Pro Wrestling used to run above Skips. There was another one that actually would come to 5-star. And after that, though, we also had, I want to say, Fusion Pro Wrestling, which was at Players Lounge, but they were only there for a little bit, too. Nothing has ever really actually worked around here.
What prompted you to get this podcast going? Obviously, it was your love of wrestling, but what else?
Well, doing a podcast was something I kind of wanted to do for several years. It was just, I knew I didn't want to do it by myself. I think it's better to have someone to go back and forth with. And I met Chris out on the town one night. I was just talking to a buddy of mine, and he said, like, hey, if you like wrestling, you should talk to this guy. So he introduced me to Chris, and he was already doing a podcast at the moment with somebody else, but that dude backed out a short time later, and he asked if I wanted to jump on that, and I was like, yeah, for sure. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. So that's kind of how we got started.
What's the best thing about having a wrestling show, a wrestling podcast?
I don't know, one of the things that's really been cool about doing the podcast part of it especially is the fact that how many people we've got to meet and how many people we've got to talk to that we never really thought we ever would. And especially with the opportunities that we've been given coming up this year, it's just going to get bigger and better as it goes.
Our very, very, very first interview that we had on our show with, at the time she was Mary Elizabeth Monroe, but now she is in Ring of Honor. Her name's Kelly Klein, and she is one of the most beastly women on that roster. I think she's still undefeated in that company, and she's been there for, I want to say, about over a year. And now me and Chris kind of joke about this, but like 2 weeks after we had her on our show, she got her call from Ring of Honor. So it's like, well, we make the joke about it, like, well, you know, we're not saying it wasn't us, but.
The next WPW show we'll have here, this will be our third one now in the past year. It's 2 weeks from today, actually. It's April 15th here in Stevens Point at the Holiday Inn Convention Center. We're really hoping that we get a good draw. The first show that we had about 400 people. The second show, because of the timing of it being in late September, we were a little bit down there. So now this one, we're really hoping to get back up to that 300 to 400 level and kind of go from there.